Here we're cutting up our venison. We're gonna make some jerky, and this is from deer that my son harvested in Eastern Oregon with archery season, general season, and we got. So it's been frozen, and it's best to cut when it's got a little bit thawed, but it's frozen still. It just cuts really easy. So I've cut most of it up, and I've got a little bit more to go, and we're just cutting it in different thicknesses here. We're trying to get the most out of the meat, and I'm just using the round steak. I'm not gonna waste the back strap on jerky. So right here we're just cutting into strips, and then we'll brine it for about 12 hours or so, maybe more, in the fridge. Always want to use a plastic container or glass, never aluminum, because it'll mess with the flavor. And so like I said, this is partially frozen, and it makes it a lot easier to cut. There's not a lot of fat on this to trim, so you don't have to really worry about that. And so we'll get it cut, and then we'll go to the next step. Mixed, and now we're just going to add the meat, and then we're going to let it sit. I might transfer this to a bag. We'll see how it goes. Different brine that I wanted to use. I was out of soy sauce, so I had to use a pre-packaged one. Don't really care for that. I like to make my own, and so normally to get my own, I make it out of the Lure Jensen Little Chief smoker recipe thing, and it's got a really good recipe in there, but like I said, we're just going to use this one because I didn't want to drive into town to get a mix when this will work. We're just going to mix it up real good, get it brined, and then we'll be good to go. Just want to make sure it gets all over it. Like I said, I think I might be transferring this into a bag to let it sit in the fridge and marinate. Into a Ziploc bag. We're just going to seal that up, get the air out of it, and we'll put that in the fridge and let it marinate, and then we'll put it in the smoker. So that's good to go. This was the book I was talking about. It's the Lure Jensen Little Chief. The one I usually use is the Little Chief Beef and Game Jerky. Okay, so you can probably look it up on the internet. It's a pretty simple. Well, it's got a cup of sugar. I usually use brown sugar, a quarter cup of salt, 2 cups of soy sauce. I was out of the soy sauce, so I had to go with the other. And then you want to put water, red wine, which is optional. I don't usually use that. Onion powder, pepper, garlic powder, and Tabasco. And then what I usually do is I add a bunch of pepper on top on some of them, because not everyone likes super pepper jerky. But like I usually make one row for myself that is peppered. You can also, another thing is you put honey on, and then you use the crushed red peppers, and that makes it nice and spicy too. So,
ooh, spicy!
Here we go. We got our venison. Colton has to do this because he was told by his coaches that if he gets something while gone, he has to bring them some. So that's what we're doing this for. So, and we'll just finish up with the remainder of the process after this brines. Here's the jerky cure.